Hi, Gabby Turner here. Welcome to this pick a card reading in which we're asking what is their honest message to you now. So I'm allowing your person of interest to speak their truth to you. Nothing held back, and I'm channeling that for you in this reading. So we have three reading options here. Option number one is represented by Djwal Khul, who, I don't know if you watch my channel a lot, for whatever reason when I use this deck, he keeps wanting to come out. So I don't know if that means something to someone out there, but also Hilarion, I feel like always wants to come out. And then we have Mary Magdalene. I think she's come out before as well. So I don't know. This deck that I'm using here is called the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. Just anyway, but they're wanting to come out again. So we will let them do that. But anyway, the timestamps are going to be listed below with the number of the reading and also the name that's on each oracle card. So again, number 1, Djwal Khul, number 2, Hilarion, and number 3, Mary Magdalene. And we'll be finding out what is their honest message to you, your person of romantic interest. But we'll probably get some spiritual guidance as well, get some honesty from your spirit guides. So use those timestamps below. Also, you'll find information below about personal readings. And whenever you're ready, hit that timestamp and I'll see you there. All right, group 1, welcome to your reading. Let's find out what's your romantic person of interest. What is their honest message to you? So I just noticed after I started recording, I've got my jar of mayonnaise over here in the view. Good old Great Value cheap mayo. You know, in these economic times, mayonnaise can cost a lot of money. So, you know, you gotta shave off a few cents where you can. But I don't know why mayonnaise is going along for the ride with us today. I personally love mayonnaise. I told ChatGPT yesterday, like, GPT, you and mayonnaise are my best friends. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on. I'm part French and I love mayonnaise. It's something about me. But even before I'm shuffling, you know, I am getting something where the person that you're watching this for, they have an awareness of someone else who has been important to you romantically. So it could be another, that like they know of another love interest either that you have or that you have had, or maybe a previous relationship with someone else. But I feel like they're curious about that person because they feel that you at least at one time were very fixated on this other person, and I don't know how they know about this. Maybe it's through observing you. Maybe they're just picking up the vibes and they're just noticing something or have noticed. But anyway, I think their first honest message to you is like, have you really moved on? We have the 8 of Cups. They're like, have you really moved on? Because it seemed like your whole world at one point revolved around this other person. And so it's hard for me to believe that that person just no longer means anything to you, when in the past it seems like they meant more to you than anything else. And they also are saying, I feel that both of you still care about each other. I think that this is a long burning flame that the two of you have for each other. I feel that whether you realize it or not, group 1, you and this other person, it's just a matter of time for the two of you to come together or to come back together. Like, okay, I'm channeling the person that you're watching this for, I'm channeling what they're saying about you. They're saying there is this other person that you used to be fixated on, and I think that it's only a matter of time that you and this person are going to get together or get back together. You may think that you have moved on from this person, but I think that at least at a subconscious level you have not, and I don't think that they have moved on from you completely either. I feel that when you least expect it, this person is going to come out of the woodworks and come back into your life, and they're going to want a relationship with you. I don't know if you should trust them or not when they do that, but I just feel that this person is going to be an issue for the two of us, because I'm expecting them to come out of the woodworks and just burst back into your life. And it's going to make it very hard for us. And they're saying, and I know, group one, that you would not be disloyal to me. I don't think that you would cheat on me with this person. I don't think that you would up and leave me. But if you and I were in a relationship and this other person came back out of the woodworks and tried to contact you and tried to get involved with you, it would make it very difficult for us. It would make me feel very fragile, and it would put you in a really tricky spot as well. Because I don't think that you have totally lost all of your feelings for this person, but at the same time, you would have to be trying to make it not feel so awful for me, you know? And they're just like, I'm just preparing myself mentally for all of this and trying to make my own best choices within that broader reality. They're saying, I want to be successful with you. But to me, to be successful with you means that I am your one and only. And I just don't know if the timing is right for us, because what if we got involved and then this other person, they might be your actual true love, you know? Like, they're also saying, like, I don't want to get in the way. If this other person is your actual true love, like, I don't want to block you from being with them. I either want to be with you and for it to be a definite success, or I want to stand to the side and allow this other situation to play out before I really feel that I have a clear shot at truly being successful with you. They're like, basically, this other thing that you've got with this person from the past that you are not totally over, that needs to resolve itself somehow. It doesn't feel to me like it's totally resolved, and I don't want this looming danger over in the corner of our relationship if we were to have a relationship. And they're saying, I think that you, if I said this out loud to you, you would probably protest and say, but there's nothing to worry about. I don't have an interest in that person anymore. But they're like, okay, you can say that and you might even believe that, but I don't want to end up being the person rejected. I don't want to end up being lonely. And if I am going to be alone, I want to be doing that by choice, not because some hidden danger is just jumping out of the woodworks. And they're also saying, you might think that you're over this person, but you don't know how you would respond if they actually did show up and try again with you. You don't know how you would respond. You don't know what feelings it would pull back up within you. You know, they're saying, I know that it would put you in the place of having to make a decision between me and them. The decision is not already made because that they haven't come out of the woodworks yet. And if they did come out of the woodworks, you would be in a place of having to make a decision. And I know that you wouldn't want to hurt me, but I don't want to hurt you either. I don't want to hold you back from, I love you enough that I don't want to hold you back from someone else who might be the one for you, or who might be the one that you want the most. They're saying, if you and I were together, I can see us having a relationship that works. I can see us putting one foot in front of the other. But if we don't have that relationship, I can also see that there would be potential for me to be with someone else and have a happy, successful life with them. I would miss you. I definitely would miss you. If I got involved with someone else, I would be looking back over my shoulder at you. I would be missing you. I know that I would. But I could still have a basically happy life. With you, there's a sense of it being steady and secure, but at the same time, there's a sense of there's this constant feeling that there's a wild card that could play itself at any time. And I don't like the instability of that wild card. It's weird because I feel like we have a strong foundation with each other. And if it weren't for this other person, I wouldn't doubt it at all. But it makes me feel insecure, and I'm not normally an insecure person. You are the one that I would most like to spend my life with. But I can't handle all of the emotions that I have regarding your past with this other person, knowing that they meant so much to you. I don't like that because I like feeling confident. I like feeling sure of myself. At some level, I do know that to open your heart to someone, you have to risk getting hurt. I know that. I know that that's true. And I can see that being the case with you for sure. There are always going to be unknowns. And those unknowns are always going to cause fear. If we want wish fulfillment, we have to be willing to face our fears. So yes, having said everything that I've said here, I do also still know that if I really want my wish fulfillment with you, I have to face my fears of this other person coming out of the woodwork. So that is what I'm trying to do, right? I could just take the quick escape hatch and say, you know what, I'm not even going to try with you because the fear of this other person coming back is just too much for me. I'm going to try. I'm not going to give up. But, I'm going to have to do it in a way that allows me to feel more carefree, more lighthearted. I have to work on not being so affected by this, and that is a process for me. Okay? It's a process that involves a lot of anxiety. I don't want to be having this anxiety, and so just know that these are all things that I have to work through. I have to work through my fears. I have to work through my anxieties. And I also have to work through my feeling that maybe you actually would be happier even with this other person. Like, there's a part of me that doesn't have the self-worth to believe that you actually could be the happiest with me. So it's almost like I'm expecting that in order to see you at your happiest, group one, I'm going to eventually have to see you with this other person. There's just no way around it. Like, the third party thing is an issue. And it's an issue that I don't like. Because I really wish it could just be the two of us, and that it could be just be so much more clear cut. I am a very prideful person. I don't take this commitment to you lightly. I know what I want. But you might have to be single just a little bit longer, or we might have to take things slow and not rush into a heavy commitment too quickly until I can see for sure that whatever has happened between you and this other person is actually resolved. I need to be able to see that. Somehow. And for me to be able to see that and trust that you've resolved and you've moved on truly from this other person, it's going to have to take time. You know, like I'm being strategic here. I'm sort of playing chess with the future. I'm playing chess with our future because I see the potential pitfalls. I think for you, you're just like, you know that you have feelings for me and you want to pursue that, and you're not seeing the dangers, and it makes me feel a little bit like I have to be the one who sees the dangers on both of our behalves, because you're just like, oh, I have really good feelings for you, let me pursue that, and I'm taking it so much more seriously. You know, like I want this to be grounded. I don't want to just rush in and have a whirlwind romance. This means so much more to me than that. What we have means so much more to me. And so it doesn't hurt my feelings that you want to rush in emotionally. That doesn't hurt my feelings. You know, I can tell that you have feelings for me and I like that. But I just have to be the one who's seeing the bigger picture here and who's actually trying to lay the groundwork for having the best potential for us having a stable, long-term, enduring relationship. Because that is actually what I want. But, you know, I want that in a way that is as much of a guaranteed success as is possible. And no success is 1,000% guaranteed, but I'm just trying to lay the groundwork to make it the most likely success that it can be before I really take firm action towards being in a relationship with you. So, okay. Anything else this person wants to say? Okay, so that was it. I'm getting a no there. But that said, let me read this message. Just maybe there's an extra insight for you. It could be about this connection. It could just be spiritual from this card. As much as this card comes out, I can't remember exactly what the message says in the book. All right. Group 1. At any point, if I've called you something else, I meant to call you Group 1. Sometimes I get confused and I'll say Group whatever, 2, 3, whatever. But you know that you're Group 1. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness, which I feel like that's what your person of interest is trying to do when it comes to you. Djwal Khul, known as the Tibetan, is a Tibetan Buddhist master. He is said to have had many incarnations, including as a devotee of Buddha himself and as one of the 3 wise men who honored the baby Jesus. Through his earthly experiences, he has learned the importance of spiritual practice and discipline and knows that the path we are on unfolds over time. He is now helping light workers follow their dharma, which is a Sanskrit word meaning right way of living. When Djwal Khul appears in a reading, he reminds you that your path is unfolding as it should. Take one step at a time and remember that your only spiritual function is to be happy. You are a powerful person with many lessons under your belt and a real capacity to share your wisdom with the world. Take the time to go over what you have learned recently, recognize the strengths it has brought you, and acknowledge where you have been courageous. Djwal Khul is now working with your angel guides to help your journey unfold like a beautiful lotus flower, one petal at a time. So yeah, I think that Djwal Khul, as well as your other spirit guides who are showing up here for you today, want you to take this connection also one petal at a time. Allow it to unfold naturally. Rather, if you've ever tried to force open a flower bud, it breaks the petals, doesn't it? Like, you have to sort of wait. Time itself is a resource, right? We have to allow the natural unfolding of time. There's a part of us that wants to gather up our future more quickly because we feel like if we press into the future, if we force the future, if we try to push fast forward button on life and get to the future more quickly, it's like trying to pull the petals apart of a flower and breaking them in the process. Whereas if you would just allow time to pass more naturally, that unfolding would happen more often than not. It's not a guarantee. Again, nothing is 1,000% guaranteed. But more than likely, with the passage of time, the flower petals will unfold naturally, and they won't be harmed in the process. So don't try to push too far ahead too quickly. Take your time is the message, I think. And with that said, I'm going to end this reading for you, Group 1. I hope that it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, Group 2, welcome to your reading. You chose Hilarion. Let's see what your romantic person of interest, honest message is to you now. And I'm getting initially, even before I'm pulling any cards, that they're saying something about how they're trying to turn over a new leaf, a sort of leaf of purity. They're trying to purify their energy in some way. Like, I think they're trying to lead with goodness and kindness. If they've been involved with toxicity or self-indulgence, unhealthy behaviors, we'll put it that way. I feel like this person is trying to put a new foot forward in life and be more pure and like healthy in some capacity. So that could mean sort of having a more pure energy could mean different things for different people. But they want to keep their energy pure and clear. So we have the King of Wands and we have the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like they're saying, like, I like being a cool person. I like doing interesting things, maybe having adventures in life. But I want to be able to do that in a way where I'm still, like, productive and happy, right? It's like they don't want to give into, like, a party lifestyle just to be cool or just to fit in. This also might be someone who does something as a career that is sort of creative or that puts them on stage in some way. And they're wanting to talk to you about that. They do feel like whatever they're doing for their work is something that could trip them up and lead them down a dark path. And that's why they're, like, doing their best to stay in a clear and pure energy, because they don't want I mean, like, what if this was someone who did mukbangs as a living, right? Like, that's the content they made, for example. They're just like, you know, like, this could lead to me becoming unhealthy and, like, you know, being at an unhealthy weight or something. Or it could be something else, you know what I mean? But it's like whatever they're on stage for, or whatever they're doing for their career, it doesn't necessarily have to be on stage, but there is a feeling here of them kind of performing for other people. It's almost like their personal life, because we see this King of Wands. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Billie Eilish. It looks a lot like her, but at least she inspired this drawing, I think. But she's on her bed, but there's the microphone. So there's an essence where whatever this person does for a living, 8 of Pentacles, they're making their personal life public in some way. But they also feel like in the process of doing that, they could be setting themselves up to fail, or there are potentials to fail. And I've given you one example here as the mukbang. Again, that's an example. That doesn't mean that this person necessarily does mukbang content, but I feel like you probably understand what I'm trying to say here. They just want to keep their energy pure, right? They want to stay balanced. They want to stay grounded. Now, why are they telling you about this? I don't know. I feel like this person is, they're talking to you about their career because they're also invested in what you do for a living. They're seeing you as the Queen of Pentacles. So they see you as someone who's very grounded, someone who kind of understands your career arc, if you will. King of Cups is their energy. Like, they care. They care about your arc. They care about the storyline of your career arc. The shared energy is the 5 of Cups. Maybe they feel that you have also experienced pitfalls, or that you also have that potential. I suppose any of us do. But it's either they're trying to learn from you, or they're just sending good energy your way because they really respect what you do, and I feel like they want you to continue to do well, basically. Like, they're wishing you the best in your career. I know this is a romance reading, and this person is talking a lot about career, but we'll get to the heart of it here. I think basically this person sees you as an inspiration career-wise. There's a lot more they want to do with their life. They do want to take a more adventurous approach to career and, like, how they create a fortune for themselves, right? The Wheel of Fortune is about taking risks and being fortunate, hopefully, in the process, right? But sometimes when we take risks, we can land on bankrupt. We can land on lose a turn. So anyway, this person seems to have this awareness, and they're like, I know that there are these potential pitfalls out there. However, I want to take the adventure. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is what they want to talk to you about. Because they're inspired by you. Okay, is there anything else that they're wanting to say to you? They're also wanting to say that they like your energy and they feel like the two of you can kind of just like spend time with each other and not even have to talk. Like, we just vibe, group 2. We can be comfortable together in the silence, and that makes me feel very at ease with you. Like, I feel like you're someone who can carry the weight of those moments of silence, and I appreciate that about you. I do think they feel, you know, going back to the, like, keeping themselves pure, there are some maybe habits that you have that they would find maybe questionable, or they're a little concerned, like, that may not be good for you. It's not coming from a judgmental stance. So she's smoking a cigarette, right? And do you see in the background this unhappy face? This sad face is what it's called. I'm calling it an unhappy face. I'm so weird. And then this eyeball. Like, this person is aware of some sort of bad habit that you have. And they have a lot of respect for you, but they're also just like, oh man, I wish you weren't doing that thing that's a bad habit, because, okay, maybe it's okay to do it in moderation, but if you started doing it too much, it could really be bad for you. Yeah, this person is really choosing the healthy way of being. I don't know what else to say about it. They're choosing health, and they want you to choose health. They're like, let's choose health together. There's kind of, with this Page of Swords, maybe a feeling of like, well, we can learn from each other. You know, it's not like I'm the one who knows everything about the healthiest way to live and you don't know anything. We both know something about how to live in a healthy way. We clearly both have insights. We've both proven that, in fact, in our lives. We've proven that we know how to increase our level of health, to become healthier. We know how to live in moderation and avoid temptation. But at that same time, they do feel like there might be some times when maybe both of you could potentially give into bad habits. And anyway, this is on this person's mind here. They want the two of you to love each other into health. Let's support each other to be our healthiest selves. It's not that, I mean, they're not trying to be morbid here, but there is an awareness of death and the potential of death, and that death comes more quickly the more you engage in unhealthy lifestyle choices. So they're just very mindful of that. I mean, I'm sorry to beat a dead horse here, but this is where this person's mind is at. Okay. Anything else this person would want to say to you? I think that's all that they want to say to you, you know, that they might even like have tried to bring this up with you, or they've in their head had conversations about these topics with you, and they're like, I hope the energy is being sent towards them of these thoughts that I have, or I hope that they know that I'm wishing them the best, and I'm holding them in grace as it pertains to their health. But I feel like they like the idea of doing fun things with you. You know, it's like in terms of talking, again, they like just being able to be in your energy. Like, we don't even have to be talking. We can just be like vibing, you know, having good times together, enjoying moments, doing fun experimental things together, like, you know, going to a restaurant we've never been to before, going to see a band that we've never heard, you know, like they like the idea of exploring life with you, where the two of you don't actually have to be talking constantly. But anyway, if they were speaking to you, these are things that they would want to, that are important to them. The ones that I've already mentioned. Okay, so let's see. There might be an extra message for you from this oracle card, so I'm going to read it from the book. Okay, so Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. Hilarion is a spiritual master who lived in the Middle East during the 4th century. At the age of 15, he felt the call to go to the retreat of Saint Anthony in the Egyptian desert. My nose is really itching. I have to keep pausing to scratch it. Okay. So he went to the retreat of Saint Anthony, and it was busy with people needing healing. So after a while, he went back home with some monks. During that time, his parents passed away, and it is said that Hilarion was so devoted to service, he gave all of their estate to his brothers and the poor. For the rest of his life, he lived as a hermit in a cave and was said to perform miracles with his prayers and touch. To this day, he is dedicated to healing, but he also helps spiritual people who feel overly sensitive to overcome their challenges and integrate with the normal world. The world can seem overwhelming to you, and it's okay to retreat to a safe space every now and then to cleanse and recharge your energy. You may feel called to serve others or share your healing with them, but please ensure that you are filled up with light, love, and energy first, so that you are not sacrificing your own development for others. You are surrounded by the healing light of Hilarion and the healing angels at this time, so you can recharge and feel whole. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the whole vibe that this person is sending towards you, basically, is that they want you to be the healthiest and most whole that you can possibly be. All right, so group 2, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, group 3, welcome to your reading. You chose Mary Magdalene, and we're going to be finding out what's your romantic person of interest, what is their honest message to you now. And the first thing I'm picking up from them is that they think a lot about spending those simple moments with you. Like, I got the image of like eating SpaghettiOs, like truly like the simplest moments mean the most to this person. So if you have those moments with them, they really appreciate those. If you haven't, then that's sort of like what they dream of having with you. But let's see what else we get here from the cards. I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot for your all's reading. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords, the World card, and the Six of Cups. This person wants to know more about your personal interests, like what makes you happy, like what foods do you like, what sort of ambiance do you like. Like, they want to be able to give that to you. Like, what books do you like to read? I would like to buy that, you know, those types of books for you, that type of thing. You know, I'm reading for a group here, so for some of you, they might already know what some of your preferences are, but even if they do, like, they want to know more, because they want to be able to gift you your preferences, like where do you like to go eat, or what kind of food do you like to cook at home, you know, like let me cook it for you, or let me take you to such and such type of restaurant, you know. Like, I feel like the way that this person expresses their love is through allowing you to live your best life. Like, if they knew that you liked sunflowers, they would plant a bunch of sunflowers for you to be able to experience. It does make me feel like a happy wife is a happy life type of energy, you know, so whatever genders the two of you happen to be, apply that as it may, but it's like they want to support you in your greatest well-being and your greatest happiness and enjoyment of life. And also with this Seven of Cups reversed, it's like almost, and I don't know, it's not necessarily that this person is even wealthy per se. I don't feel that they are like a millionaire or anything like that, or even necessarily making six figures. I mean, maybe they are, right? Because again, I'm reading for a group, but it's like they want you to know that there's nothing that you could want that they wouldn't happily supply for you, right? If you were window shopping for something and you're like, well, I can't really afford that, this person would make it happen for you. Like, they do have a knack for that, regardless of how much actual money they have. Like, if you wanted some designer cowboy boots, like, they would make sure that you would have those designer cowboy boots. Yeah, they want to give you the good life. It really is like a happy wife is a happy life energy. Like, it would make them happy to be able to give you and just be able to share those moments with you. Like, that's what it is for them. Like, if I give you this, then I can share those moments. You see this little cat on her shoulders here? The cat is just so relaxed and happy. Like, that's what their energy is like when they know that you've been set up to just kick back and relax. And whether that means eating a can of SpaghettiOs or whatever, they just want you to be happy. I do think they view you as someone who maybe counts your dollars and doesn't like to like spend a lot of money on things yourself. Like, you might hem and haw about, well, can I afford it? Can I not? I probably should just make do with this thing rather than the thing that I prefer, or just not have this at all and get on with my life. I feel like they want you to have what you like, but they also feel like you're not necessarily the type of person who's wanting the expensive things in life anyway. They don't think that you have necessarily expensive tastes, but they do feel like you're someone who denies yourself a lot. My nose is just itching like crazy. I keep having to pause to scratch it. Anyway, they think that you're someone who engages in a lot of self-denial, and you choose the hard way in life rather than the way of convenience or ease. You do things the hard way, or you limit yourself a lot. It's like they want to free you of that and like let you just like really get out there and breathe life in. Okay, so what is their message to you? I mean, we're getting a lot of their thoughts about you, but what... I guess their message would be like, let me make your life happier and easier. But let's channel a message from them. We both know what it's like not to have everything come easily to us. We both know what it's like to have to struggle to reach our goals and to attain the things that we want out of life. That said, I have created a decent life for myself that I wish to share with you. I have this nice little island of what I have personally attained, and maybe what I have isn't much, but I would share it all with you. I would share it all with you, and I would make you the queen of my world. I feel that I'm probably not the only one out there who would want to make you the queen of my world. But to be honest, I'm not sure you should trust some of these other people or what their intentions are, because I think that there might be some people who would want to pursue you romantically who might not have your best interests in mind. I think you're so focused on, you know, working hard and doing things the hard way that you're not really noticing the way that people are looking at you. You're not really noticing people's intentions towards you. You're more focused on what you're trying to create for yourself. And I can see you, group 3, thinking that you're going to have to do everything on your own, and you don't even view that negatively. You're not expecting someone else to make things easier for you. And I appreciate that about you, that you want to do things on your own and be independent. But I do actually want to help you. I do actually want to be there for you. I do want to make life easier for you. But I don't think that you always understand this about me, and sometimes we have conflict, or it's just like a total lack of understanding where you're taking me the wrong way, or maybe I'm even taking you the wrong way. It's like the reality is that we both are loving and supportive of each other, but maybe we haven't always had the clarity that that's the case, and it has caused us to have arguments. They're saying, I want us to be able to experience a long period of peace where we can lean more into the energy of peace and trust, and knowing that the other person is simply there to support us and love us. Like, I want you to know that I'm here for you in that way, and I want to be able to lean into the peace and trust as well, knowing that you are on my side. So let's lay aside any small arguments that we have had, and let's be willing to realize that a lot of these insecurities we have, we've just projected on to the other. You know, you thought that I wasn't supportive of you at one time. I thought that maybe you had issues with me at one time. But really, those were our own personal insecurities that we were projecting onto each other. The truth is that both of us always wished each other the best, and we still do. So let's just lean into the reality of that. Both of us are people who don't really need to lean on others that much. We both are kind of do-it-yourself types. And I think that also has been an issue that has caused conflict between us, because we're both do-it-yourself types. It's almost like when someone does try to show up for us and be helpful, we are resistant to it because we don't know how to accept that from anyone. Both of us are like that. I can see that. But I also know that we can both learn to be interdependent. We can both learn to create a greater fortune and a greater abundance together than what we have separately. There has been some time apart, and during that time apart, I have experienced a lot of self-reflection. I have seen and understood myself better during this time apart. What I have realized is that I had a certain image of myself as the King of Pentacles, but I wasn't quite living up to that. It was more of a facade than it was a reality. Now I know that the reality of the King of Pentacles is actually who I truly am, but I was denying it or subverting it in a way. I was not living the material aspects of life in a way that was very grounded. I may have been taking the easy way in life sometimes, you know, because I said we both haven't always had the easy path in life, but lately I have had more conveniences and more ease in my life, and I think I was taking advantage of it in ways that were actually working against me. So I've cut out those healthy or those unhealthy or toxic conveniences out of my life, because I realized those were a distraction. Like, it is genuinely better sometimes to do things in what seems like the hard way, rather than try to take the shortcuts. I'd been trying to take certain shortcuts lately, and I've been very self-reflective about that, and realized that I shouldn't be taking those shortcuts. I also know that you, again, there's something about you have not been given shortcuts in life either. Everybody doesn't always get a gold star or a participation trophy, and there was a situation recently you were in where Group 3, you did not get a participation trophy. You did not get a gold star just for showing up. And I feel that it may have caused you to compare yourself to others. And I just want you to understand your worth is not defined by you not getting a participation trophy. Your worth is defined by your tenacity and your resourcefulness. Your worth is defined by you not giving up on yourself and willing to face hard times, willing to face the chaos when life brings us chaos, willing to problem solve. I see you as an incredibly strong person, and I want you to know that. You are a strong person who does not need my help, and yet I want to help you. I see you getting to where you want to be. So even if you had a setback recently, I still see you succeeding in the end. And I know that you also, I sense that you also see the best in me that I don't even see in myself. I think that that is mutual. So I am holding you in the most positive energy, that whatever you're trying to achieve in life right now that is not coming easily, I'm holding you in the highest energy right now, even if you can't do it for yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxious, I believe in you regardless. Okay, is there anything else this person would want to say? Okay, I'm getting a no. So that said, let's go ahead and move on to the message from the oracle card that you chose, which was Mary Magdalene. And there may be a message to you about this person. Maybe it will be a separate message, but regardless, we're going to just see what Mary Magdalene has to say to us. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. We don't have a full picture of who Mary of Magdala actually was, but we do know from spiritual texts that she was a great visionary and teacher with clairvoyant abilities, because she was able to see angels and the soul of her twin flame Master Jesus after he had passed away. She also had the ability to shake up crowds of people to bring their hearts and minds back to the highest good. She now devotes her time to supporting us in bringing about the radical changes the earth needs in order to prosper, and to encourage those who feel the need to teach the joy of spirit. Mary is a rebel heart in many ways. She helps those light workers who feel restricted by the opinions of others to step up and speak their truth. You have a strong desire to share what you have learned. You may feel people will dismiss you or ridicule you, but don't worry. Mary Magdalene is here to guide you through this process. Your vulnerability is actually your greatest strength, because you are trusting the power of your soul, and that part of you can never be broken. You are a wonderful teacher and leader, and the world needs you. You are being backed by heaven, so step forwards and share all that you have learned. Yeah, so I think, again, this is part of how this person sees you. They have learned a lot from you. They have self-reflected because of your example. But also they feel that you deserve the best, and that you deserve to be highly valued, and that you shouldn't have to do everything on your own. Okay, so I hope that that message reaches you and is helpful. Thank you so much for watching Group 3, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.